Good afternoon, everybody. IXHL moving up. Everybody's been waiting on that one for a couple of days now. And it's been a nice, slow, steady grind. Levin, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Good to have you along with us. Terry, good afternoon. So TBH, Tango Bravo Hotel, TBH, they put out a press release about 5 minutes ago on a private placement with a new institutional investor. And so that one's moving up just a little bit. We'll see if it gets a good run here in after hours. MFH is another one that's been running. It's pulling down right at the moment. We'll see if that one runs in after hours. And then, of course, IXHL. We'll see what kind of a run we get on that in after hours. That one is pushing up really, really nice right now. IXHL really giving us the big boomer. Great swing play for anybody that was with us in after hours yesterday and took some of that and held it as a swing. Hopefully you're doing well with that one. And how about that LIDR from this morning on that press release? Ran up over 300% on that press release, all the way to 474, and then halted and then came down. After that, that's all she wrote, man. It pulled back, but boy, what a fun ride, up 300%. HCTI been pushing up nicely. Had a big boom there right after the market opened. Joey, good afternoon. Brian, good afternoon. You've got about 15 seconds to go. Hopefully you're all ready to go. Good afternoon, YouTube. Good to have you along with us. Let's see what 4 o'clock brings. Eyes on LIDR, IXHL, MFH, and TBH. We'll see what the market brings us on those. All right, right at 4 o'clock here. HIT, Health Tech partners with Vertigard administrators to elevate TPA services through. So HIT, that one popped up pretty decently. HIT, Health Tech, HIT. Now let's see what else we got. Looking for some news here. HCTI is up about 5%. Class action lawsuit there. Let's see where HCTI HCTI pulled up and down. LIDR. LIDR pushing up. Been on a beautiful climb since after hours yesterday. LIDR still pushing up. Octo, O-C-T-O. Octo, O-C-T-O. Octo, O-C-T-O. I'm reading press releases. If you're wondering, why is this guy just staring off into space? DSS is moving up. GIBO, little 4-penny stock. That one's moving up right now. GIBO. Kathy, good afternoon. CELC announces that their first patient was dosed in a phase 3 clinical trial for the treatment of advanced breast cancer. Popped up a little bit, but there's no volume behind it, pushing it up any further. Octo, OCTO, we're going to see if this one's going to hold here before it booms up or if it's going to just drop. Reading off press releases, a lot of class action lawsuits got dumped here at 4 o'clock. NXTC demonstrates anti-Siglec-15 treatment improves bone microarchitecture and reduces fracture incidence in mice. Okay. And that's in a preclinical trial, obviously. LIDR, we mentioned that one before, moving up. NXTC on their press release. NXTC. This is the one with the preclinical trial on mice. It's moving up. NXTC now at 54%. Octo trying to move up again as well. And I've got a lot more press releases to get through here. NXTC now up 71%. Boy, a bunch of class action lawsuits. My news feed is full of them. And I mean full of them. I bet I've got 40 of them here. Octo pulling down, NXTC pulling back for the first time here. DSS trying to get up, but there's no volume. LIDR still hanging in there. It's still hanging in there. SPRB announces a 1-for-75 reverse stock split. Financials. VXRT is submitting a proxy statement to do a reverse stock split. GIBO, this one's still pushing up. This is a little 4-penny stock. GSIW, an 11-penny stock, it's moving up. Second quarter financials on COUR. COUR, Coursera Incorporated. Second quarter financials, and it's moving up a little bit on financials. COUR still moving up on financials. And they just put out another press release that they have upped their revenue for 2024, their view of revenue from 738 million from 738 to 746 million, somewhere in that ballpark. NXTC still hanging on, still trying. COUR says they see their quarter three sales at $188 to $192 million versus the estimate of 182. And they've raised their guidance for next year, or for the rest of the year, rather. Come on, Octo. NXTC, Octo, COUR, pulling down here a little bit. GSIW, little 12 penny stock, it's moving up. OPTT, yeah, you know me, that one is moving up as well. OPTT. Sammy, good afternoon. Second quarter financials. It's that time of the year for all those financials. COUR struggling. Octo pulling down. NXTC pulling down. Everything's pulling down. GSIW. OPTT still holding up. IXHL took a hard fall. And I mean a hard fall. From 169 all the way down to 49 cents. Ouch. But it is climbing back up again. GHLD might have some shorts covering down there. That will help it out quite a bit. SRTS, second quarter financials. HSCS provides a business update and reports fiscal 2025 financial results. It did pop a little bit on that. HSCS. Watch for volume though. Need volume. Sometimes you get those after hours spreads that can be kind of sizable spreads in after hours. And it only takes one person to buy into that ask price for just 10 shares, and it'll spike the price way up and give you the illusion that that stock is getting ready to run, and it's not really, because then somebody will follow behind that and sell into the bid price and drop it straight right back down again. So you got to be very careful on those spreads. Always check that spread on those stocks, always. And the volume, of course. Always check that volume. Level 2. You got to have level 2. Oh man, I'm not seeing anything here. Well, let's see what these are doing. NXTC trying to push back up. Be nice to get that back over 9 again. Octo needs to push back over 2. Coursera needs to push itself back up around 1060, 1070. If they can do that, if those three can do that, there might be some life left in them. The SAR, you got to, if you want to take trading real seriously, you do need to have level 2. I would highly recommend it. I couldn't trade without level 2. Level 2 is where all the action's at. I mean, you can watch just the candles, I suppose, but it kind of puts you behind. It kind of puts you behind the 8-ball a little bit. You got to remember, the way I always try to explain it to new traders is the candles are forming, and what you're seeing happen with those candles, they're forming because of what's happening on level 2, not the other way around. Level 2 is where the party's at. The candle is a result of what's going on level 2. So you really got to focus on level 2. I watch the candles, don't get me wrong, I watch the candles because the candles are a good visual representation of what is happening on level 2. But level 2 is the nuts and bolts. That's where that's where the action is at. And it's kind of like watching a baseball game and watching the scoreboard. I can watch the scoreboard and tell you what the outcome of the game is. But if I want to see it in real time, I want to see what's really going on, I got to watch the game. The scoreboard is a result of what's going on down on the field. So you got to think of level 2 that way as well. Level 2 is the playing field. That's where everybody's at. The candle is a result of that. So yeah, you can just watch the candles, but you're missing a lot of information. You're missing out on a lot of very valuable information. All right. So let's go look at NXTC. Nothing there. Octo going sideways. Courier, COUR, Coursera still trying to bounce back up. It's back into that 1070 range that I said it needed to get back to. We'll see if it's got some juice here. Let's see if the retail comes in and pushes this up over 11. LNZA pushing up nicely. Got a new high of the day here on LNZA. LanzaTech Global is the name of the company. LIDR, pushing up a little bit here in after hours. LIDR. Yeah, for those of you wondering what was going on with IXHL, it's an offering. It's an offering. SRTS financials, OPTT. OPTT Ocean Power signs a strategic reseller agreement in Latin America. Joey, sorry to hear that. Our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. MXTC, LNZA, LNZA's hanging in there. Courier. Boy, we need one. You have to look up SEC filings to get that press release. I got it on my scanner. Vicky, good afternoon. Samantha, good afternoon. You tell Jay Diamond I said hello. I'm going to have to stop in and visit with him one of these evenings. I think while I'm on the road, I'll be in my RV at night and not have a whole lot to do. So I think I'll probably pop in and visit with Jay very, very soon, some evening when he's doing his live battles. Courier, finally. COUR, Coursera Inc., finally. Up to 1124. Let me show you that. Hang on just a minute. IXHL. Let me try something for you, Lance. We'll see if I can do this. There's the filing, Lance. And if we scroll down through here, right down here, down in this area down here is where you can read about the offering. $13 million offering. That's where I get mine. Hopefully that helps. COUR now at 1140. ARW, reducement grants. HIT, we already know about that one. HIT regains compliance with NASDAQ's minimum bid price requirement. HIT. Second quarter earnings. 16 HIT. Man, it's all class action lawsuits or dates of when they're going to do second quarter earnings. That's the only kind of press releases I'm getting right now. I'm not getting any of the good ones. But that happens sometimes. NXT still trending down. Octo going sideways. LNZA. It's trying, but having trouble. Coursera. Let's hope this stays above 11. Yeah, it was filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission today, July 24th, 25. NXTC trying to push back. Why is there a big jump? Why is there a big jump on what? Nassar? Um, Not a lot of people trading in after hours. The bid and the ask get kind of thin. Not a lot of people selling, not a lot of people buying as much as there is during the day. There's no halts allowed for volatility in after hours or pre-market, so it gets a little crazy sometimes. When a stock starts to run up, they don't halt it for volatility, so it just goes, it can go really, really crazy. Um, and because of the lack of people buying and selling like there is during regular trading hours, sometimes the spreads on the stocks get kind of nutty. Like the bid price and the ask price, there's a huge spread between them. When you get that big of a spread between them, it takes one person to buy one share at the ask price, and the candle will shoot straight up and it make it look like, wow, this thing's really going up. But if you really look deeply into it, like on level 2, you'll see that that stock went up to that price on one share or two shares or something. It's kind of dumb. But then somebody sells into the bid and it runs right back down again. So you have to be really, really careful. You have to look at level 2 to see what's going on there. Why is that going up? How many shares are being bought and sold to cause the price action that I'm seeing? If you don't have level 2, you can't tell. And it can be confusing. Open. KSS. Nothing there. Just calling it a meme stock. D-Nut. Which nut? D-Nut. GME. KGC. Octo. Look at Octo. Boom. 227. Look at that. Look at Octo. Look at the volume pouring into Octo. We went from 1,000 shares on a 1 minute candle. This candle, the very next one, is over 500,000. That's nuts. Octo is on fire right now. Let's hope that stays running like that. Let's hope that pushes right on up through 250 and really gets a good jump. But I would take, me personally, if I was in that, I'd be taking advantage of that big spike. But that's just me. If I get in down low and we get one of those really big, huge spikes up, maybe one candle, two candle, big spikes, I'm out. I usually take advantage of those, at least part of my position, at least part of it. Maybe a quarter of my position or half of my position. I try to take advantage of those because more times than not, after that big spike, they come right back down again, especially in pre-market and after hours. We'll see what Octo does. It's up to 240. There's 250. Boom. Oh, jeez. Look at that thing go. Yeah, you get a lot of people. There's a lot of retail traders out there that try to pull some shenanigans with these things. And it's easy to do on a low float stock. Octo, OCTO. A lot of times, I know guys that'll, if there's a huge spread on a micro float, and I mean like a 75 cent a dollar difference, they'll pop, they'll buy like one or two shares at the ask price to get that candle to pop. And then if the ask price changes and goes up a little bit, somebody else will pop it for another one or two shares and get it to pop up even higher. And it gives the illusion that that stock is really going crazy. And it creates FOMO with people who aren't paying attention, and they start jumping in. And of course, it's a micro float, and it'll go crazy for no reason at all other than a little manipulation. Micros can be easily manipulated in pre-market and after hours. So you have to be really careful. NXTC, Octo. Come on, Octo. Get back up over 250. I always take advantage of those big run-ups. Let's see, new employee inducement grants. That's fluff. If you ever see the inducement grant headline, inducement grants are nothing more than the company wants to give away shares to its employees. You probably know people or have worked at a company that gives out shares, company shares, incentives, retirement incentives. A lot of times CEOs get shares given to them in lieu of certain financial arrangements, and company has to have permission to give those shares away to employees, whether it's the CEO or the person on the line. That company will give out, for Christmas bonuses, they'll give out 5 shares of the company stock to everybody that works there, or some goofy thing like that. For them to do that, they have to get permission, and that's what an inducement grant is. They file permission from the SEC to give away stocks. That's all that is. It's nothing bad, but it doesn't affect share price hardly ever. Is there an airplane? No. That's my AC unit running. You got to remember, I'm in Central Florida, and it's hotter than all get out. It's hotter than a biscuit in here in Central Florida right now. And so I got to have the AC running to keep me cool. When it starts cooling down in the fall in Florida, or even through the winter, then I don't have to run the AC anymore, and it gets nice and quiet in here. But during the summer, I got to run that thing. Especially this time of day, it's brutal out there. But I'll be taking off. On the outs with my razor. Yeah, my razor broke, I think. Oh. Octo had a nice move. We'll see if it's going to go again. I still like that idea of selling that up there around 244, 245, but we'll see if it goes higher, see if it pops through that 250. No storms today. But next week, starting Monday morning, I'll be on the road again. The Wolf Pack will be on the road, and I'll be doing the live streaming from my RV, which is always fun for me. I really, really enjoy that. It's kind of fun to hit the road and travel, pull into a campground and get all set up and wake up early in the morning, get my coffee, turn on the computer. FLG. FLG. What do we got here? Flagstar Financial Merger Agreement between the company and the bank, whereby the co will merge into the bank with the bank as the surviving entity. I'll be headed up towards, heading up to Indiana. I'm going to visit my kids and grandkids and my folks and some friends and family up there. And then probably on up, might go up through into Michigan or Wisconsin, might head up in that direction, visit my old stomping grounds up there in Wisconsin, and then probably swing down around back up into Michigan, visit some friends and family in Michigan, and then eventually back down again into Florida, thinking about heading over into Alabama. Yes, I'll be in Elkhart. I will be up in the Elkhart area, you betcha. EOS. Thinking about swinging down into Alabama and down around Anniston, Alabama, where I went to basic training at. Poke around there at the base and see if they'll let me on the base. And JC, no, I never played in Maryville, but I'm very familiar with it. I went and seen Styx in concert there once. Drove through Maryville just about every time I went from Elkhart, Indiana area on up into Wisconsin. I drove up around that way to catch the toll road. So hot. They're back. Back in Cocoa Beach. Love Cocoa Beach. Love Cocoa Beach. I like the Atlantic side of Florida. I really do. I like the ocean over there. The Gulf beaches, I think, are a little nicer in terms of the sand quality and the beachside amenities as far as tiki bars and all that kind of stuff. But I like the water on the Atlantic side. I prefer that. It's colder. The water's got a little bit more of a chill to it on the Atlantic side. Close to Pensacola. Richard, awesome. New Ron John's shirt, yeah. Richard, I might be up around that Pensacola area. You never know. Never know where I'll end up. Should be fun though. But I'm gonna do it a little different this time than I did the last time. I didn't do many videos last time that I traveled. Like little travel videos, where I'm at, what I'm doing, you know, that kind of nonsense. But I think this time I might do that. I think I might do a couple of little videos where I'm at, where I'm gassing up at. Of course, we got to stop into Buc-ee's and got to videotape Buc-ee's a little bit. But I'll throw some videos up on TikTok, probably on Instagram, probably on Facebook, probably on YouTube. I'll probably hit all of them. And I'll just post some little videos here and there. Garden stops. Tim. Not hitting the garden this time. We'll make some good travel video. Let you guys know where I'm at, what I'm doing. Keep you updated. Not that you care, but it'll be fun for me. And then, of course, we do our Wolfpack thing that we're doing right now. We do that every day as well from the RV. So it's always fun for me. Stop by Thrower Rolls. What is that? Never heard of that. You avoid the red tide on the Atlantic side. Yeah, there's not much red tide on the Atlantic side, that's for sure. The Gulf water is a lot warmer, but it's a lot more stagnant too. It doesn't have the circulation and the movement that the Atlantic side does. So the water smells different. It feels different to me. I don't know. I like the beaches better. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the beaches better on the Gulf side. I think the sand can't beat it on the Gulf side. But I do like the Atlantic side. I really do. But we'll get all over the place. I may stay in one spot. It's in Sikeston, Missouri, if you go that way. All right. I will tell you, I'll be ready to get home after this trip. I'll be ready. It's hard telling where I'll end up. But that's one of the beautiful things about being retired, I guess, is you can come and go as you please. And every day is a Saturday. Let's go back and look at Octo. Looking for that 250 break on Octo. OCTO. NXTC trying to push up. Coursera trying to push up still. Octo, boom, right through that 250. Up to 250. Looks like we hit 255. We hit 255 very quickly. Don't make us jelly. No, I won't make anybody jelly. No, I didn't watch X4 today. I did not. Motor oil. Yeah, I did. They did an offering. They did an offering. Dirty Rascals did an offering. Yeah, market must have been listening to me, Bob. As soon as I mentioned it, it broke through 250. Purely coincidental, I'm sure. Nothing else moving. Octo, NXTC, which is not really moving. It jumped up, now it's going sideways. Coursera, COUR. That's about it. Those three, that's about the only thing really that's getting much attention. We might get a press release here that changes all that. There's just not much going on. It's been that way for all week. All week's been like this. Victoria, yes. I'm hoping to have a good trip. ABSI, a proposed public offering of stock. Proposed public offering of $50 million of shares of its common stock. ABSI. And boy, is it getting beat down to the ground. Big push here on Octo would be really beautiful. News on Octo. Let me see if there was anything put out. I don't have anything on E-Trade. June 5th. I don't see anything. Let me check filings, news. No, don't see anything. Don't see any news on that. LNZA, that was a player a little bit ago. It's starting to push back up again. I'll tell you what, this has been slow. This whole week's been slow. This whole week has been, pre-market's been okay. It's not been stellar. It's not been one of those weeks that we look back on and brag about. It's been okay. After hours definitely has been noticeably dead. It's been noticeably quiet in after hours. LNZA still pushing up. Octo's still struggling with that 250. LNZA, can we get this one to pop? Get it over 80, that would be beautiful. Nice recovery. Well, maybe 5 o'clock will give us something sweet that we can take advantage of. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Boy, is that good. $73.8 now on LNZ8. Can LNZA, not 8. Can we get it up to 80? X4. X4 is moving up right now too. XFOR, it's getting a little bit of a pump. There's been almost no volume on this at all in after hours today. I mean, very little, very, very little. And it's just now starting to get a little bit of volume and moving up some. UBIS, proposed. X4 still moving up. WBD. Croy. WTC getting a little push here. Well Change Holdings, WCT. Just popped up to number 3 on my list. It's up 23%. X4 still pushing up. Good little second run here for this one. Geeky got LNZA from 62 to 70. Nice little quick trade on that. Good deal. WCT still trying to push up. X4 pulling down here for the first time. Octo pulling down, and XTC going sideways. Let's see if X4 pops up again, gets over 210. Don't have any more news. We didn't get anything at 5 o'clock. Nothing at 5 o'clock. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for me for tonight. Looks like X4 is trying to push back up again. XFOR. Octo OCTO. Doesn't look like it's done yet. NXTC is just going sideways. WCT. Now this one be interesting to see if this one can pop all the way to 30 cents. That would be nice. Courier coming down, LNZ coming down, X4 still kind of hanging in there. IXHL trying to curl back up. It is curling itself back up again. I would imagine there was a lot of shorts that covered on that drop. That was a gift for the shorts. That was a gift. They got very lucky on that one. So anyway, you guys have a great evening. I'm going to get something to eat. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. It's Friday. We all know Fridays are typically pretty slow for news. We do get some runners on Fridays, but just speaking about press releases are usually pretty slow, and we don't get very good ones, and there are very few of them usually on Fridays. Maybe tomorrow will be the exception to the rule, and we'll get a couple of really good ones. We can always hope. So have a great evening. Stay safe, stay green. Thank you guys for popping in and joining us. The Wolfpack always enjoys having everybody along. Thank you for hitting the follow button on TikTok and the subscribe button on YouTube. Really, really do appreciate that very much. And like I said, next week I'm going to be on the road. I'll start making some videos from the road and posting those on social media. Won't be anything special, just keeping you updated where I'm at, what I'm doing, what state I'm in, and of course we got to do a Buc-ee's video, of course. But anyway, you guys have a great evening, and I'll see all of you bright and early tomorrow morning. Wolfpack 6:45 sharp, and TikTok and YouTube 7:35 tomorrow morning. Tell Jay I said hello. If anybody sees him tonight, tell him old Jeff over there said hi. And I'm gonna visit Jay when I'm on the road on TikTok and chat with him for a little bit. You guys have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Watch that WCT. WCT. Keep an eye on it.